Hey there, welcome back. This week we're talking about saying no in yes culture, how to refine your boundaries and free yourself from obligations. It's no secret that we live in a yes culture, whether that's in social media, we're agreeing to, saying yes to, liking things that we don't really want to like, or in our own family systems where we're agreeing to do things, or with a work colleague. We're saying yes when we really want to say no. And the detriment is that this unravels, it erodes our own authenticity. And the impact of that is far reaching. It impacts our family systems, our organizations, and the fabric of our very culture. So this week we're going to be talking about how to build those retaining walls, build those boundaries so that there isn't erosion any longer, and instead we create empowerment, a life of freedom for ourselves and our systems, the systems around us. So we're going to jump right in. Before we do, be sure to subscribe below. So what do I mean when I say that boundaries are the key to shoring up our walls and saying no? I know the word boundaries has been used for a really long time, and it's kind of an old one. So that's why I really want you to start thinking of this in terms of retaining wall, retaining the erosion of your truest self, your most powerful self. This retaining wall is going to shore up your own authenticity. It's going to preserve your authenticity. So how do you do that? Well, I first want to invite you to take a deep breath with me and think about something that's happened recently, something that you've done or said yes to that really didn't feel that good. Maybe it made sense in your mind. Maybe you made up a story, about why you should do this. Shoulding being an operative word here. So keep an eye out for the shoulding. And it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right in your body. It just felt off. And I'll give you an example from my own life. I was recently asked to do something by one of my kids, and I knew it was late at night. I knew I was tired, and they really needed help. And my story that I make up, is that I need to say yes. It's my job to say yes as a parent. And now I'm using this example of kiddos because this is one of those places that's really can be insidious, right? It can really undermine us, all of us, not just me. So I want you to hear this in the context of whether or not you have kids or not, okay? Because this could easily be a coworker, someone in a community that you belong to, a book club, a church, anywhere. So I said yes to this person in my life because I said I love them and care about them. And if I love them, I need to do something for them, right? So, like I said, it was a really long day. I have taken on a new project, a new business, and I had been in the doing all day long, and I still said yes. And you can imagine what happened. I got cranky and irritable, and I actually couldn't see the impact that I was having in the moment because I said yes when I really needed to say no. I said yes when it was an opportunity to build up a retaining wall. And the impact was an erosion of the trust in the relationship. Now, this is just a very simple and small example, and I've done some cleanup work around this, and all is well. And you can see where these small yeses can build up and build up and build up. And eventually, like erosion happens, if we don't have that strong retaining wall, the mountainside can wash away. The hillside can just collapse. So I want you to think about this in a situation in your own life. Where is saying yes eroding something in your relationship, at your workplace, in a community or a group that you're in? Where are you feeling off? Because here's the truth, is when we say no, when we build up that retaining wall, when I am so aligned with my authenticity and you are aligned with your authenticity, your truest self, your most empowered way of being, your walls are so strong that people are clear when they can come in, when they can go out. And the relationship builds trust. It builds up retaining walls and supports them in building their own retaining walls. And in our communities, the same thing happens with those people. And then in our entire culture. Imagine a culture where people said no when they felt like it, so you could trust they're really saying yes when they want to. You could trust in the relationship. People would be free from obligations. You will be free from obligations. And the impact of that is far reaching for you, for your parents, for your children, for your workplace, for your business that you run. So here's my challenge for you. I want you to stop and be aware of somewhere where you're saying yes and you really want to say no. And it's hard. I know. I have that same story that it's hard. And take a deep breath and imagine that strong retaining wall. You are the builder of that retaining wall. And you can rewrite the fabric of the culture that we live in, one step at a time, by taking this one thing that you're saying yes to and just say no. You can say no with love. You can say no with care. And I'll give you an example from my own life. So I went back and had a conversation, and if you haven't said yes where you needed to say no, you can create from an initial conversation and just say it in a very similar way. I love you, I care about you, or if it's a professional work colleague, I respect you as a work colleague, I respect this work, and, I'm gonna have to bow out from this so that I can give my 100% to something else. And when I can come back to you and give my 100% to this project or the next thing that you ask me to do, I will do so. But it's in line with my own integrity. I am practicing saying no. So I'm sort of modeling for you a way that you can have this conversation with the people in your life with love, with care, with integrity, and with a boundary. So I'm really looking forward to hearing how this goes for you. So please shoot me a message, comment below. I love hearing back from you. And I'll see you back here next week. Take care. Bye now.